Hey everybody, I'm Josh.
I'm Jason. I drank that too fast.
Alright.
Oh,
That noise.
ow. My throat kind of hurts from that. Go ahead.
It's time for
The recommend.
how long did it take for you to realize that was Tom Hardy?
Much longer than I'm proud of.
I think
Gosh.
it's for most people. Unless
Longer than I'm proud of.
the movie came out in 2012. I was 16 at the time, and I wasn't paying attention to celebrities. You know what I mean? Especially when they put him in a dumb mask and shave his head. How does he eat?
I think there's a hole in it.
There's a hole. Which one of these tubes do you eat out of? It's such a weird distinction from the source material. Like you played Injustice. You know what Bane looks and sounds like.
He looks like a mutant.
Like a luchador. Like a big.
He's freaking huge.
I don't remember what I was watching or like what I was like watching clips of like DC stuff, and one time he was voiced by Danny Trejo. Machete. I'm like, that's a good voice. That's a good voice for this character. But also in the comics, I don't think you know this because I don't know if you had any like exposure to Bane that much, but you've probably seen some versions of him where he has like a tube sticking out of the back of his head. Have you seen that? What he does in the comics is that he like injects himself with this crazy steroid called Venom, and he like really bulks up.
Okay, but why does he have another tube?
It injects it into like his in the back of his head. It like injects the venom into his body like through the back of his head. I don't know. There's like so many scenes where Batman beats him just by like ripping that tube, and then all the steroid drains out of him, and he gets smaller. Bane doesn't usually have any affiliation with the League of Shadows. Usually.
Well, for some reason he does in this one.
Yes, which I thought was strange. And then the Talia al Ghul. That's an actual thing. So let's move on to what our criticisms of this movie, Jace. Because what's your opinion of this movie? You told me earlier that you thought it was meh. Meh.
It's just not as exciting as the other ones.
I think there are just some really dumb decisions made. Like having all the police go into the tunnels at the same time for them to get trapped. The other one was like Gordon has this speech written out on like stacks of paper about the truth about what happened in the Dark Knight, but he kept it on his person, and then Bane stole it. I'm like, why the fuck did you keep that on you? Because he wasn't kidnapped that day, was he? When like he's about to give the speech and he puts it in his jacket. It was a different day.
He's like keeping it around, like if the time is right to like read this.
Mm-hmm. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is in this movie as Robin.
Which that's not even revealed until the end. So
yeah,
it's not.
And Robin isn't.
It's more of an Easter egg, really.
Yeah.
It's not like important to the story.
Robin isn't the guy's name. It's you want to be the first one. It's Dick Grayson.
Robin is his middle name, right?
No, Robin.
No. He goes by.
In this
movie,
movie,
go by your first name, Robin. I like Robin.
Oh, he said real name.
Whatever.
He's like,
you know what?
He was like, try it under my legal name. She was like, I like your legal name, Robin. His name in this is like Blake or something, which I guess I think after Batman and Robin, they're afraid to touch Robin because in this they save him for like the very end. That's the reveal, and then in the Ben Affleck stuff, he's dead already.
Robin is not coming back.
I don't think there are some things that work for comic books that don't work for live action, and in live action, I don't think you can justify.
Wait, he's dead. He's dead in the Justice League movies.
Yeah, it was Jason Todd, the Red Hood. Flashpoint.
You think that's gonna fix it? They did that for the fucking CW show.
Yeah, they're gonna the Flash movie. They say the Flash movie is gonna like reboot everything. It's gonna bring Robert Pattinson Batman into the fold, and I don't know. They're gonna somehow justify and explain why they're gonna have to recast people who aren't coming back.
That's actually an interesting thought because it like establishes the multiverse is already existing by having different characters play the same heroes, but it could just be different universes, and they're establishing that so early. So that could be an interesting idea.
Spoiler alert for Batman. I'm not sorry. Spoiler alert for Spider-Man: No Way Home. You know how that scene at the end where all the other Spider-Men show up? It could be like, imagine a movie where like there's like 7 Batmen: Keaton, Kilmer, George Clooney,
Batman: No Way Home. God damn it.
Kevin Conroy, Christian Bale.
Well, they wouldn't be able to bring back Joker for that. Could be Heath Ledger.
It could be Jack Nicholson. He played him in the 1989 with Michael against Keaton.
It wouldn't be the same.
Wouldn't be the same. What about Mark Hamill, the voice? I'd be down for that. Or what about Joaquin?
It's just okay.
Joaquin
I get
Phoenix?
it. I get it. There are other Jokers. That's not the point I'm going for. I'm talking about because of the iconic performance we got from Heath Ledger as Joker.
It would be like instead of in the Spider-Man movie, instead of it being Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, it was like Dean DeHaan's Green Goblin who showed up instead. Like no.
Remember, Patreon is a thing.
It exists.
It's a thing that exists. And now let's go into it. Nostalgia Critic for The Dark Knight Rises. What?
I just need you not to talk so I didn't interrupt you when I made that noise. All right, let's go. Oh yeah, fuck, damn it.
Oh, your senses fail.
Yeah.
You are now seeing what you fear.
The Scarecrow's fear toxin strikes again.
Here's one of your fears now, the villain from Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed.
It's Batgirl?
Oh, sorry. And an even bigger apology for ruining Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed.
It was like already done.
Soon we will destroy the Batman franchise with bat credit cards, bat nipples, and bat hockey pads.
Didn't we just do this?
What's that?
Didn't we literally just do this plan like 2 reviews ago?
Yeah, like some characters are different, but isn't this like the same thing?
How dare you? This is far more expensive.
How dare you?
And far more familiar.
Look, you know how everyone said the one with the Joker is one of the greatest things ever made?
Yeah.
Well, we're taking inspiration of the lesser one before that.
Isn't that like backwards?
Of course, it's the most Christopher Nolan thing to do.
Whatever, you're gonna get hate for this no matter what.
I suppose you're right. Roll the thing.
It took me a moment to realize what they
The
were
much
doing.
anticipated Dark Knight Rises came out in 2012 after one of the greatest comic book movies ever made, and
What'd you
another
think of
runaway
Anne
blockbuster. The hype behind
Hathaway's
Christopher
Lady
Nolan's
Kyle?
third and final Batman film was immeasurable. And
Feels
I will say
like-
the people
I
who
feel
loved
like
it
she
insanely
looked
loved
good,
it,
but
and
like
people who
that the
didn't,
performance wasn't
given
that
the same
good.
treatment as the folks on the Gotham Bridge.
Hang in there!
As you probably guessed, was one of those people who didn't care for it. In fact, I hated it. I loved The Dark Knight so much that I was ruthless on this film. I haven't even watched it since it first came out. Well, 10 years later, I put it on again, and I have softened a bit. The acting is pretty good. The size and scale are massive. I'll even go so far as to say the majority of this movie is very impressive to watch. In fact, upon revisiting it, I think it only has one problem. The script. That's all. Just the words, choices, and basic root element of cinematic storytelling sucks. But aside from that, it's really good. Okay, I know I'm gonna get ripped apart for this, so I'll try to praise what is legit awesome about this film, but I'm not gonna pretend the stuff I think is bad isn't bad. As always, I'll be as
When she
honest
stabs
as I
him,
can, for better or
He's
worse.
doing his Batman voice. It's
Hey,
the
what are you
worst
doing?
it's ever sounded. He's like, "Why did you stab me?"
Trying to hide yourself so you're not connected with my opinions on this movie, aren't you?
Hey, if you want to ruin all that DC goodwill,
Sounds a lot
built
like
up-
you play on your stupid kids.
Fool me once, right?
Okay, fair enough. This is my solo
Yup.
Definitely solo.
review of Dark Knight Rises. The movie opens randomly reminding us that Harvey is dead.
I believed in Harvey Dent.
Thanks. Just throw this in there too in case we forget. But it gets pretty cool with an intro clearly trying to top the bank robbery opening in the last one, but who cares, it kicks ass. CIA agents capture the mercenary known as Bane, played by Tom Hardy, and try to make him think they're killing his henchmen.
A lot of loyalty for a hired gun!
Or perhaps he's wondering why someone would shoot a man before throwing him out of a plane.
Or how a voice and a mask can sound like 20 sound filters on top of each other. If you're wondering why he sounds like he's clearly in a recording booth, it's because there was a lot of complaints that Bane was too hard to understand in the trailers.
When Gotham is ashes, you have my permission to die.
This
Okay,
dude
I understand
does do
that.
a lot of talking, so my guess is they brought him back and re-recorded or re-altered his voice several times.
I understand the
Pull that
choice.
off, will you die?
It would be extremely painful
You're a big guy.
for you.
I actually really like his voice despite everybody's impressions. Bane is
I'm taller than him!
entirely written around how hilarious it sounds.
I am cutting this.
Got it! Burned it!
I will bend it.
Yes! The scene I mentioned!
To sound a little weird. What am I gonna say? The Joker
I
sounds too
remember.
much pitch or the Penguin grunts too much? The silly voices are part of what makes them distinct. With that said, it is great when his voice breaks and he sounds like a drunk Sean Connery from Red October belching helium.
Of course.
The Batman.
The Batman
Police is mobile.
is mobile.
If Soda Popinski had a voice. It turns out Bane just needs the doctor on this flight, and he arranges the plane to be rotisserie by another plane. I honestly have no troubles with this scene. It's pretty sweet. Did you like my impression of a creaking door?
No, they expect one of us in the wreckage, brother.
The recruiter with the pamphlet should have told you. Yes, you can question the logistics of this plan, but let's use the same rules as Dark Knight. It's a comic book movie, so anything heightened that makes the characters look smarter or stronger is fine. However, anything heightened...
That's what really threw me off. I'm like, the trying to write them super smart.
Not fun. That's stupid or lazy. Like at Wayne Manor, how Gordon is about to tell
forgot he was in the movie. That's the guy who plays Thomas Wayne in the Joker movie.
Maybe the time isn't right.
Don't worry, he's not that stupid. He'll just carry it around on missions, so a criminal may find it and read it later. Not to go into spoilers, but a criminal finds it and reads it later.
The mayor's gonna dump him in the spring. Must be popular with his wife.
Not really. She took the kids and left for Cleveland.
Yeah, that's right. Gordon's family left him. Isn't that exactly what you were hoping for at the end of Dark Knight? Oh my god, the suspense. I hope after this they get divorced. To be fair, he did pretend to be dead to protect their lives, resulting in their lives being threatened, but piss off, comic books.
Ever lay eyes on Wayne at one of these things?
No one has. Not in years.
Bruce Wayne has stayed out of the game for 8 years, and all the aches and pains catch up with him, forcing him to walk with a cane. And a stick to keep his balance. I don't care, it's mine! It's mine! It's mine, man! Johnson,
I love it! Michael Caine.
Selena Kyle, played by Anne Hathaway, plays Never Once in this movie called Catwoman, who tries to get Wayne's fingerprints. Call me crazy, but I figure Batman and or Bruce Wayne would have better security than this.
You wouldn't beat up a woman any more than I would beat up a cripple.
I was the Dark Knight!
Good night, Mr. Wayne.
So I know some people love or hate Anne Hathaway, and I'm honestly indifferent to her. So when I first saw her in this, that was my reaction. Indifference. She was just another Catwoman to me. Didn't leave that big an impression. Watching it again, she's both a little worse and a little better than I remember. Put bluntly, she sucks as a villain.
You gotta be kidding me.
No guns, no killing.
Where's the fun in that?
Not very villainous.
I never buy it. It looks like an act. She plays evil the same way a villain at a kid's birthday party plays evil. It's clearly
like Mila Kunis playing a bad guy.
Me, huh? How can we change that?
However, I do kind of buy her as a badass hero. Catwoman always flip-flops between sides, and when she fights, or even just walks alongside Batman, it does look pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'd probably buy her more as a warped version of Batwoman or Batgirl or something. Speaking of which, can I be Robin?
Got something you want to ask me, Officer Blake?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays Officer Blake.
You should use your full name, Robin.
Holy self-service.
Who figures out what nobody else in Gotham could. Bruce Wayne is Batman. How? Just the look on his face.
What?
My mom died when I was small. I'd seen that look on your face before. It's the same one I taught myself. Right when I saw you, I knew who you really were.
Oh, goddamn this script.
Ooh, that's stinky.
I know I said I wouldn't attack any heightened elements in this, but this isn't heightened. This is freaking supernatural. He figured it out having never seen or heard Batman, but just by looking at Wayne's face.
Holy underwritten metropolis.
And the funny thing is, this wouldn't be hard to fix. Just have Batman walk by him at one point and Blake be like, I recognize that chin. That'd work. I buy that. At least he would have seen the two to compare them. But this psych kid is a damn miracle. He could have made millions outing other superheroes just by looking at him.
Diana Prince, Clark Kent, Peter Parker, Jennifer Waters.
Congratulations! All these heroes are being hunted down and or destroyed. Don't talk. You've done enough.
Oh, Jesus.
Speaking of which, and I do literally mean speaking of which.
Oh, that guy.
How much damn talking there is until Batman shows up.
Director Critic.
It takes him 45 minutes to appear, which is honestly fine as the other movies took their time setting up stuff too. But it always felt like something was moving forward in those movies. Bruce was having flashbacks or traveling place to place before he became Batman. Gotham's law enforcement were trying to take down the mob with Batman's help before the Joker story really got going. This is literally just people sitting around explaining exposition. Maybe for a second you'll see Catwoman do something or Bane do something, but it's mostly just people in one spot yapping.
Trying to talk to a man who threw away your investment.
Do you understand only money?
And the power you think
He goes by his gut, and it continues to bother him no matter what.
You
the
and Dad
numbers.
cleaned up the streets, you cleaned them good.
I'm not hearing a question.
A lot of guys been going down in tunnels.
The foundation is funded by the profits of Wayne.
Even before you became rich.
Shut up!
You came to this.
You came here from your walk up and into a modest place.
You should hear the rumors surrounding us.
Hey, I bet the story about Alfred hoping to see Bruce and a loved one in Florence will be how the movie ends. How do I know? Because it's the only time we cut away from somebody talking. And honestly, I'd be more lenient about it if the characters were as interesting as Dark Knight or Batman Begins. All the new characters introduced in those movies were really engaging. Even the gangsters, which you've seen a million of in these films, all have distinct, memorable personalities. All the new characters here are forgettably generic. We got Blake. He's tough. One of Bruce's biggest investors, Miranda. She's tough. Selena is fake tough. I completely forgot Daggett was in this movie, and that's one of my favorite Batman villains.
Oh.
He's
Clearly, you don't know much of anything, do you? Where's Bane?
annoyingly whiny and tough.
Where's Bane?
I guess there's Matthew Modine, who does have a pretty good arc by the end, but until that point, he's also pretty whiny when not tough. I'll give it this, I am happy when Batman shows up, not because he's gonna save any of these boring people, but because something is finally happening. But this does raise the question, how will he get past years of being physically disabled?
Oh, there you go.
Better, off we go.
By cheating.
Which?
He's able to kick a hole in a pillar with that.
Okay, so far so good. His tumbler's turned into chitty chitty bang bang, that's cool. He has arguably the best line in the movie.
Batwing. It's called the Bat in the movie, but I like this. It's the Batwing.
Funny, it has to be from the comics. Still a good scene.
They just don't care.
Yes, he still has that voice, and yes, he still mouth breathes so much I can't help but make this sound.
I mean, when you're wearing a costume like that, where it's covering your whole head, you're gonna feel a little congested.
I feel like, yeah, he's gonna.
So you have to open your mouth.
It looks like it is definitely squeezing.
Yeah, remember the outfit that said,
it's gonna be
"You're
stuffy."
Take it. Batman can make the choice no one else can.
You spat in the faces of Gotham's criminals. Do you think there might be some casualties? Things were always going to get worse before they got better.
Well, now it's give up. Let someone else do it. No one cuddles me at night anymore.
What if before she died, she wrote a letter saying she chose Harvey Dent over you?
I give credit that this movie reneges a little bit on the lies told at the end of the last one, as I never knew what to think of that ending, and clearly the writers didn't know either, as both the truth about Rachel and later Dent are revealed.
Maybe it's time we all stop trying to outsmart the truth and let it have its day.
The acting here is also top-notch from both Kane and Bale. But Alfred doesn't want Bruce to die, so he won't help him anymore, leaving him to die.
I know what this means. Your hatred, but it might also mean saving your life.
Now, Timmy, I'm tired of catching you every time you jump from the bookcase, so I'm not gonna catch you this time, saving your life.
Huh.
What's Bruce been doing those 8 years out of the limelight? Well, not protecting his finances, because now he's completely broke.
So stupid.
They bring Miranda, who may end up
Record
owning the
scratch.
company, to Applied Sciences, and I will admit, I forgot how awesome this show was.
Nice.
This is it, isn't it?
No, this is goddamn Fox, who will soon be Disney. They show her investment is going to a machine that can create clean, renewable energy.
Or explode.
Or blow up the world.
Yeah.
Someone will figure out a way to make this power source into a nuclear weapon.
I refer you back to comics. Miranda does end up owning the company, as well as Bruce's Little Wayne. That is, if he can figure out how to get inside his house without Alfred.
Do you have keys?
Never needed them.
Batman, everybody! Despite the two having absolutely no chemistry, they decide to bonk. And yes, there is technically
He can't get into his house?
But again, how did Batman not figure it out? And he tells Selena if she helps him find Bane, he'll help clear her name so that she can go back to feeding her... She doesn't even own a cat! She leads him to Bane, all right, by trapping him so he has to face him alone. Bane reveals he's from the League of Shadows, and I'm sorry, but in a choice I just can't get behind. He's a massive simp for Ra's al Ghul.
I am the League of Shadows.
That's the second video in a row
He just wants to
said the
destroy
word
Gotham
simp.
for the same reason Ra's did. Crime, corruption, economic inequality, which didn't the League say they kind of caused?
With Gotham, we tried a new one, economics.
And instead of making him a unique epic villain, they just make him a basic bitch for a previous one.
I'm here to fulfill Ra's al Ghul's destiny.
Imagine if Killmonger and Black Panther was like, I will fulfill Baron Zemo's legacy. You'd miss all this amazing stuff that makes him one of a kind. It just wouldn't feel as grand or new. Also, The Dark Knight, said by many to be one of the greatest comic book movies ever, kind of feels like a detour now, doesn't it? League of Shadows wants to destroy the city. Defeated. Joker wants to drive everyone mad. Stopped. League of Shadows wants to destroy the city. Oh shit! Just when I thought I saw everything, I get to see it again! It does lead to some cool stuff, though. I love how Bane knows all Batman's moves because they were trained by the same people. This fight scene in general is pretty great. Okay, it looks a little fake, but both actors are into it. You feel the intensity. And though Hardy said he hated beating up his childhood hero, he sure does sound like he's having a ball.
Shadows betray you because they belong to me.
Yeah.
Oh man, you beat him to his hangover face.
You merely adopted the dark. I
was born in it.
But that pesky writing, where is all this taking place without him ever knowing?
Your precious armory.
What?
Fully accepted.
Oh, that's right. They take his Batmobiles.
Greatest detective. How much work did Alfred do?
Alfred did everything.
I was wondering what would break first, your spirit or your body.
Oh, I should have wore hockey pads.
Crack.
Only halfway. Like I said, I need to splash some cold water in my face. Damn, that could have been a good point to do it.
The Tent Act allows non-segregation based on extraordinary need.
Wanna hold my hand?
This is really stupid. And Bruce is taken to a faraway prison where Bane was raised. He'll, of course, let Bruce watch the destruction of Gotham because comic villains are morons and kill him off after. Prisoners try to get out of the giant plot hole this movie keeps digging.
It's a giant plot hole.
This is told of the one prisoner who did.
He says there is one who did. A child.
A girl, that is very important.
Yeah, you think they would have mentioned
we'll
that.
get to that twist later, but for now, he thinks it's Bane, whom the police think they have surrounded, so they literally throw in every cop in the city. Their words, not mine.
Every cop in the city's down in those tunnels.
This is so stupid, it actually looks funny. How can you not laugh at all of this giant city's cops going to one bust? Even the reporters are like, are you high?
We're seeing literally thousands of police heading into the sewers. Mr. Mayor, we're literally thousands of police.
It's a training exercise.
No, I swear, there was a scene cut from the movie where she says, are you high? Big shock, this wasn't such a good idea, as a bunch of explosions trap them in the tunnels, blow up Gotham's bridges, and for some reason cut up this cool shot from the trailer. Why'd you do that? That one take was amazing.
This
What the hell?
film is armed, and the identity of the
Trigger Man
is a mystery.
Well, this is a weird halftime show. The doctor from earlier turns the energy source into a bomb, and Bane says he'll detonate it if anyone tries to get in or out of Gotham. He reads Gordon's letter about how Batman was innocent and Dent went insane, which, I mean, he is a supervillain. He could be lying. But whatever, this gets Gotham up in arms and it's returned to the people who feel wronged. The rich are poor, the poor are rich, the guilty innocent, the innocent guilty, getting across the incredible message of inequality sucks. Yeah, kind of like Occupy Wall Street, which they said they weren't inspired by, and I do believe them. They're doing the same thing, pointing out similar problems, but not really offering solutions. Even though this had no connection to that movement, it was clearly on their minds the same time it was on all these other people's minds. There's just something about that place and time that got people talking about it. Maybe that's why a lot of these characters' choices seem so dumb. They're letting the commentary drive the characters rather than the characters drive the commentary. With that said, what is Batman gonna do? I mean, Bane broke his back recreating one of the most iconic comic book scenes ever. What do they seem to have down there? A rope? It's gonna take years of physical therapy to... Better. Let's climb out of here.
It's like that scene in The Incredibles where the robot's pulling him.
Oh, I broke my back again!
That'd been so funny.
For months, Gotham is ripped apart, and Bruce tries to escape with the other prisoners chanting, but he never makes it. When he's told the child made it without a rope, he decides no snot-nosed pipsqueak is gonna upstage him.
What does that mean?
Rise.
You've been down there together for months and now you ask what that means? If I was digging out of prison and my cellmate said dick cabbage every time I did, day one I'd be like, what's dick cabbage? I'm kind of curious what that's about. How much work did Alfred do again?
All of it!
He climbs up without a rope.
Symbolism!
Yeah, okay. And he, of course, makes it out. Just in time, too, as the best cameo in the movie says Gordon is on thin ice and sentences him to death. By thin ice.
Yep.
This blocks the remote detonator signal to the bomb. Get it onto it before sunrise.
So a lot of people ask, how did Bruce get back to Gotham and how's he able to walk on that thin ice when everybody else falls through? Well, one, they did show he actually can walk on thin ice. Not gonna lie, I was pretty impressed by that callback.
Okay.
Number two,
sure.
he's Batman. He got back because he's Batman.
Yeah. Batman.
Impossible.
Can't believe my prison with no guards and a giant hole a child jumped out of didn't work. After what, the 10th time I asked how Nolan could never tell Bale Batman looks hilarious with his mouth open? I'm so baked. They get all the cops out of the tunnel. Again, maybe should have killed them, Bane. And the battle for Gotham begins. I'll say this too, you really do see the money on the screen. Not only is it impressive that all those people are really there and not CG'd in, and that there was at least an attempt to make it about the city and not just Batman, but the effects for being 10 years old hold up pretty good. If anything leading up to this made a lick of sense, I'd totally be invested. Go, go.
Is he back?
Is Spider-Man back?
I'll pretend I didn't hear that.
World's greatest detective finally puts together, maybe hitting Bane's mask will work. Yeah, even the CIA agent figured that out right away.
If I pull that off, will you die?
And he finally gets him down for the count.
Be extremely painful.
What?
Never give it to an ordinary citizen.
What? Ironically, I can't understand you.
Tell me where the trigger is. Then you have my permission to die.
So that's what that feels like. Big twist, I guess. It was Miranda all along.
My mother named me Talia before she was killed.
It turns out she's the kid that escaped, and she's the daughter of Ra's al Ghul, and I don't know. Is this what you wanted? Catwoman and Bane in a movie together, and it's a last-minute twist daughter of a villain from 2 movies ago that's our mastermind? This isn't like Marvel, where there's like 5 dozen films to try this out on. This is the climax of only 3 movies, with a roster of amazing villains, and we're ending with her? Okay, you got 10 minutes of climax left. Maybe the writing for her will be really stellar.
His only crime was that he loved me.
That is a fake line. You put that in as a joke. These are Oscar-nominated writers! They're ready to go up with the city as she gets ready to set off the bomb with her detonator.
Where's the kaboom?
Gordon turned off the bomb, so she rushes to find him, which is good. She shouldn't have to see Bane go out like a bitch.
About the whole no guns thing, I'm not sure I feel as strongly about it.
This is the last of Bane in the movie.
Huh?
That's the last of Bane in the movie.
We don't even know for sure if he's dead or not.
Nope. His side better, but they discover the bomb is activated, and naturally, Batman has to sacrifice himself, flying the bomb away from the city. I'm still so baked. After his supposed death, I guess they throw a Great Gatsby funeral because almost no one attends. Probably because people are too busy going to Batman's memorial. And nobody puts together they died on the
Batman
same day.
died.
Honestly,
Also, Bruce Wayne,
even
who
after
fucking
he's
cares,
dead,
also
none of his
died.
friends say, oh, by the way, this guy was Batman. He was a good dude. I mean, they literally made a statue out of him. I don't think they're going to charge you with anything. It's not even an accurate likeness. His mouth is closed.
I'm so sorry. I failed you. You trusted me, and I failed you.
I mean, you did. How's that whole I'm gonna leave you to kill yourself so you don't kill yourself thing work out? Wayne Manor is turned into a center for at-risk kids led by Blake.
Robin.
Oh, blow me. Where he discovers the Batcave below. And if you're like me, you know when this movie really should have ended.
Yeah, like, don't show him. Yeah. Yeah.
I know it's like the ending to Inception, but Christopher Nolan has shown us he likes doing the same thing over and over, so why not here? It'd be so good if it was left open. Did he see him? Did he not? Was Selena there? Was someone else he found there? Your imagination and your interpretation of the characters would fill in the blank. But instead, Bruce found the exact cafe he went to in Florence. Absolutely nobody recognizes a face that was constantly on magazines, and this trilogy finally ends. Folks, I tried. I just can't get into it. I will admit there are a lot of things to take into consideration. Trying to up the spectacle of The Dark Knight, trying to be respectful and not bring back Heath Ledger's Joker. Trying to tie things together when you can't use the storyline of your most iconic villain. But I really think they should have just done a villain from scratch and not connect him to a villain from the first.
Yeah.
Or if you're gonna do that, do the Scarecrow, damn it! Yeah, I know I never shut up about him, but that is the only first movie
The ripped
villain
up
you could
suit,
get
that
material
looks so
from
good
to
for the
us,
Scarecrow. That would work so
at least in
well.
a way that'd be satisfying. I think it wanted to up the commentary, up the effects, up the size, and in the process of figuring out the technicals, it lost the human connection. But like I said, that is all on a script level. And yes, that's one of the most important things, but watching it again, I was impressed with how many elements did hold up in terms of technology, size, scale, and performances. You legit feel the effort with every frame. It in no way feels like a lazy movie. Just a misguided one. And even then, that's just my take. I know a lot of people who love this film, and if it really moved you in a profound way, I'm not gonna stand in front of that. Its heart is in the right place, and it's clearly trying to do right by Batman. With that said, do you think it did do right all these years later? Were you like me and felt it couldn't live up to the hype, or do you feel like it followed through on all its epicness?
I feel like this
Also,
movie is
how do
putting
you
me to
rank
sleep.
The Dark Knight? I know my ranking's pretty obvious, but I'd love to know yours. Whatever your thoughts on the Nolan trilogy, I think we all owe him a big thanks for bringing back Batman into the cinematic spotlight.
Yep.
Reminding us why we love the shadow of such a powerful cinema.
Okay, that was the Dark Knight trilogy. Why are we all still here?
Oh, did you think that was it?
Kinda, yeah.
Well, I have an amazing twist for you. I am, in fact, not the real villain.
Oh, we didn't really care if you were.
It was an unsung hero who was in the movie under your nose the whole time.
Okay, who?
Hey guys, Tony from Hack the Movies here.
Wait, how is he the villain? He wasn't even in Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, yes, I was. I so rarely talk about it. Here's the bandana I wore while shooting, and here's a couple pictures I took from the set. Just watch the stadium scene. I'm right there, behind the goalpost.
Unexpected, isn't it?
I guess.
Therefore epic.
Not really.
Oh, our friends have betrayed us, Tony from Hack the Movies.
It's hard being the glue that holds a film together.
We must rectify this, Tony from Hack the Movies. You are the twist villain everybody wanted to see.
I didn't even know he was in the film.
So tell me what I must do for my epic conclusion.
Maybe you can review the other two best Batman movies.
Of course! It'll be something new and unexpected!
You totally announced that at the beginning of the month.
But has he talked about those films before?
Multiple times.
Then we are following the Nolan model. Repeat, repeat, and repeat. Repeat.
Repeat!
Happier when I literally didn't exist.
I was played by Malcolm.
Does this mean I'll disappear too?
The world is too small for the star of The Dark Knight Rises to disappear.
Oh, good.
Who are you?
I'm not sure anymore.
Are you my mummy?
Why is this still going?
Because I love doing this voice.
Well, stop it.
Bye, voice.
The Batman?
After Bane and the fucking Venom movie, I'm just convinced that Tom Hardy likes to do stupid voices in his movies.
You know how if you're driving for a while, you kind of get sleepy, you get like a little bit of highway hypnosis?
Yeah.
Well, that's what's happening to me right now.
You take a break?
I hate feeling sleepy like this. What do you need to say?
Yeah, really good point. Just the script is the problem.
I feel like he didn't really cover the entirety of the movie.
Well, I mean, he had to cut a lot out because it's like a 2-hour and 40-minute movie.
Jesus.
It's a long-ass movie. And even the movie kind of jumps things like, how's he going to get past the knee his bum knee brace? How's he going to get past the fact that his back is broken? Just hits him in the back.
All better. Rob's back. It's just healed.
He walks with a cane and a stick to help him keep his balance. Oh! So that was good. That was the best joke.
I was done.
I loved it. I will bend it! I love it. There's a bit in the Harley Quinn show where it's Bane at Jamba Juice. And the guy's like, hey, smoothie for Bang? He's like, it's Bane! You know it's Bane! But you keep calling me Bang, Todd!
Wait, who served it?
Todd. Like, just a guy at the Jamba Juice who works there, a regular employee. named Todd. He's like, you know my name is Bane, Todd, but don't call me Bang. And he calls him, but he keeps calling him Bang. So Bane comes back and he's like, okay, we're going to blow up the Jumbo Juice and Todd. Then it cuts to Joker, like, talking to Harley Quinn. He's like, yeah, so I've been paying this guy Jamba Juice to keep calling Bane Bang. It's just to fuck with him.
He got that guy killed.
Actually, no. He goes to he goes to blow up the Jamba Juice. He blows it up, and then the guy's like, did you blow up Todd? And the guy's like, he was sick today. Like, he's just like, the guy's dying. Todd wasn't working. He blew it up. Let's wrap it up. I mean, I've got nothing else to say about this movie. It's boring, and would you have been down for like a Joseph Gordon-Levitt like solo movie where he's like Nightwing?
Yes, but at the same time, seeing what happened to the first and the third in this trilogy, I'm not sure it would have been worth it.
No. Nope.
There's a risk with anything, honestly, but like honestly, a lot of people just think too much about the money and just don't care about how good the movie actually ends up being.
This was 2012, so it was like before the whole cinematic universe trend got jump started with the Avengers. So maybe if they did it nowadays, they would have tried to spin it into a cinematic universe. All right, let's wrap it up, and you can take a nap. I'm Josh.
I'm Jace.
Patreon exists.
It's a thing.
Yeah, it is. All right, goodbye.
Good catch.